What if the CIA and its secret files didn't discover something new, but rather stumbled upon age-old secrets about how reality truly operates? In this video, we'll explore whether the controversial techniques of the gateway process echo an ancient wisdom capable of hacking our perception of reality, bringing clarity to your own power to shape your experience. A modern intelligence agency investigating what mystics and sages have explored for eras. The connection runs deeper than you might imagine. Have you ever sensed there's more to reality than meets the eye? Stay with us. The human spirit carries an inherent yearning, a deep-seated quest to understand the nature of our existence, doesn't it? We look out at the world, and within ourselves, searching for meaning, for a sense of purpose, for a glimpse beyond the veil of the everyday. Often, we might feel bound by limitations, sensing a hidden potential within us, a deeper reality, just beyond our grasp. This is not a new feeling. It is the timeless pulse of human consciousness, seeking self-knowledge, seeking connection to something larger. Into this ancient search enters a modern curiosity, a declassified document from an unlikely source. The CIA, known as the Gateway Process. This report details explorations into the very fabric of consciousness, time, space, and reality itself. Now we approach this not as an ultimate truth, but as a fascinating artifact of our times. It raises profound questions. What led a government agency, typically focused on the tangible world, to delve into realms often considered purely spiritual or esoteric? What were they hoping to find or perhaps unlock? The document speaks of techniques, of processes designed to alter states of consciousness, to potentially access information beyond conventional means, even to influence the perceived world. And this brings us to the heart of our exploration today. Are these findings, these techniques, explored within the walls of intelligence agencies, truly novel inventions born of modern science and psychology? Or could it be that they are, perhaps unknowingly, echoes? Are they modern rediscoveries, maybe even fragmented reflections, of a profound understanding of reality, cultivated by ancient wisdom traditions across millennia? Is the gateway process less of an invention and more of a resonance with perennial philosophies that have long mapped the inner cosmos and its connection to the outer world? Consider the paradox for a moment. An organization rooted in the material world, in gathering intelligence and asserting influence, found itself compelled to investigate the very nature of the mind and its potential to transcend physical limitations. This very investigation, regardless of its original intent, points towards the enduring power and relevance of these deep metaphysical questions. It suggests that the mysteries of consciousness are not confined to monasteries or ancient texts, but persistently emerge, demanding our attention, even in the most unexpected corridors of power. The central question we hold today is this: did the CIA stumble upon ancient keys disguised in modern language? Let's journey together and see where the echoes lead. Let's delve into one of the core ideas presented in the Gateway documents, the notion that reality itself possesses qualities akin to a hologram, or perhaps more simply, acts like a projection originating from consciousness. Imagine for a moment a movie projector. Consciousness in this analogy is the light, the film reel holding the images and sounds. The world we perceive around us is like the screen, faithfully reflecting whatever is being projected from within. The Gateway exploration suggests that what we experience as solid external reality might be far more interactive and responsive to our inner state than we commonly assume. Does this sound purely abstract, perhaps even far-fetched? Consider your own direct experience for a moment. Haven't you noticed how your internal state, your mood, your fears, your expectations, seems to color the world around you? When you feel joyful, the world often appears brighter, friendlier, full of possibility. When caught in fear or anxiety, the same external circumstances can feel threatening, heavy, and difficult. It's as if the lens through which you perceive reality shifts based on your inner landscape. Think, too, of the well-documented placebo effect. Here we see a powerful, tangible example of belief, an internal state, directly influencing the body's physical experience, changing the felt sense of reality for that individual. A simple sugar pill imbued with the belief in its healing power can trigger genuine physiological changes. While the mechanisms are complex and still studied, it undeniably demonstrates a profound connection between mind and experienced reality. It shows us that our inner world isn't just passively observing, it's actively participating in the creation of our moment-to-moment experience. Perhaps you've lived through this yourself. Maybe you anticipated a difficult conversation with dread, replaying negative scenarios in your mind, only to find the actual interaction unfolding with that very same tense energy you projected onto it. Conversely, maybe approaching a challenge with a sense of calm confidence subtly shifted the dynamics, opening doors that seemed locked before. These aren't necessarily about magical thinking, but about recognizing how deeply our internal focus and energetic state contribute to the reality we navigate. And here lies a fascinating pause, a moment for reflection. This idea that reality acts as a mirror to consciousness seems quite radical when found within declassified government documents, doesn't it? It speaks of the mind holding a power to shape experience that goes beyond simple positive thinking. But what if I told you that this very concept, reality as a reflection, an outward manifestation of an inner source, is not a modern hypothesis? What if it's actually one of the most ancient and foundational principles found in wisdom traditions that have guided humanity for thousands of years? This notion of a mirror. Where else have we encountered it? Beyond the idea of reality as a reflection, the gateway process ventures further, suggesting that consciousness itself is not strictly confined within the skull, not limited to the physical brain. The documents propose that our awareness possesses the potential to operate beyond the familiar constraints of linear time and physical space. This is the conceptual groundwork for some of the more extraordinary claims associated with the process, like out-of-body experiences or accessing information remotely, seemingly unhindered by distance. The specific technique mentioned, hemisync, utilizing specific audio frequencies, was presented as a tool, a potential key to unlock and stabilize these expanded states of awareness. Now, before we dismiss this as purely science fiction or government speculation, let's pause and consult our own inner knowing, our own library of experiences. Have you ever had a strong intuition, a gut feeling about a situation or person that turned out to be uncannily accurate, even without logical evidence at the time? Or experienced a significant synchronicity, a meaningful coincidence that felt orchestrated by something larger than mere chance? Perhaps you've had vivid dreams that seem to carry profound insights or even information you couldn't have known otherwise. Think about those moments of deep connection you might feel with a loved one who is far away. A sudden thought of them, perhaps followed by a call or message out of the blue. Where do these subtle signals, these intuitive nudges, originate? Are they simply random neurological firings? Or could they be whispers from a deeper, more interconnected level of reality? Hints that our consciousness participates in a field that extends beyond our physical selves, touching the universe, the source itself. A simple way to visualize this concept as explored in the Gateway framework is to think of your individual consciousness like a computer terminal. It's functional, capable, and processes information from its immediate environment. But what if that terminal is also connected to a vast, invisible network, a universal internet of consciousness? The gateway process and the hemisync technique within it could then be seen as an attempt to refine that connection, to clear the static, perhaps even to upgrade the bandwidth, allowing for a clearer reception of information and experience from this broader field. It suggests we are not isolated nodes, but interconnected participants in a vast web of awareness. This potential for the mind to operate untethered from the here and now is a staggering thought, especially when contemplated within the context of official investigations. But it begs a crucial question, a question that bridges the modern enigma with the echoes of the past. If the human mind truly holds this capacity to perceive beyond the conventional limits of space and time, who else throughout history has explored this profound possibility? What maps did they create? What did the ancient explorers of consciousness discover in these boundless inner realms? Our journey now takes us back, far back, to the roots of Western esoteric thought, to the timeless wisdom encapsulated in Hermeticism. Attributed to the legendary figure Hermes Trismegistus, these teachings offer profound insights into the nature of the cosmos and our place within it. At the very heart of Hermetic philosophy lies a principle elegant in its simplicity, yet vast in its implications. As above, so below. As below, so above. What does this ancient axiom truly mean? It speaks of correspondence, of an intricate mirroring between the great universe, the macrocosm, and the individual human being, the microcosm. It suggests that the patterns, laws, and energies that govern the stars and galaxies are the very same patterns, laws, and energies that operate within us. The outer world and the inner world are not separate domains, but interconnected reflections. What unfolds on one level finds its echo on the other. The universe in this view is a unified whole, and understanding one part can illuminate all others. Now, let the resonance sink in. Compare this ancient Hermetic principle with the ideas we encountered in the Gateway documents. That notion of reality as a projection, as a holographic field responsive to consciousness. It aligns almost perfectly with as above, so below. The reality we perceive externally, below, is seen as a direct reflection of the patterns, beliefs, and energetic states held within our consciousness, above. The idea emerging from the CIA's exploration that the mind can influence or even shape reality finds a powerful precursor here. The hacking of reality, then, from this ancient perspective, isn't about technological manipulation, but about understanding and consciously working with this fundamental law of correspondence. It's about tending to the inner world above to influence the outer experience below. Look around you, even in the natural world. Do you see how patterns repeat? The branching of a tree mirrors the network of rivers or the vessels in our own lungs. The spiral of a galaxy echoes the spiral in a seashell. These fractal patterns, repeating at different scales, hint at this underlying principle of correspondence. Perhaps this mirroring extends to our own lives too. Consider how your deeply held beliefs about yourself and the world, your inner above, tend to manifest as recurring patterns in your relationships, your career, your overall life experience, your outer below. It invites a profound level of self-awareness, doesn't it? Think of a simple example: the health of the physical body, a microcosm. So often, it reflects our internal state, our stress levels, our emotional balance, our mental habits, the inner microcosm. Or consider our living space. Sometimes, a chaotic external environment, the outer below, can be a direct mirror of inner turmoil or mental clutter, the inner above. Working to bring order and peace within, often surprisingly, leads to shifts in our external circumstances. Hermeticism suggests this isn't coincidence. It's the law of correspondence in action. It places the power and the responsibility squarely within our own consciousness. Let us now journey east to the profound philosophical traditions of India, specifically Vedanta. Here we encounter another powerful concept that resonates deeply with the questions raised by the Gateway process: the concept of Maya. Often misunderstood in the West as simply meaning illusion, in the sense that nothing is real, Maya carries a far more nuanced meaning. It doesn't necessarily propose that the world is non-existent, but rather that the reality we perceive through our ordinary senses and mind is a relative reality, an appearance, like a veil that covers or obscures the unchanging, ultimate reality, often called Brahman, or pure consciousness. Think of Maya as the enchanting, ever-changing display of the phenomenal world, the sights, sounds, thoughts, and emotions that make up our daily lives. Vedanta suggests that while this display is real on its own level, it is not the fundamental underlying truth. It's like watching a masterful play. The characters, the story, the emotions evoked are all real within the context of the play, but they are distinct from the actors themselves or the stage upon which it unfolds. Maya is the play. Brahman is the ultimate reality beyond the performance. How does this ancient understanding connect with the explorations documented by the CIA? Consider the gateway's premise that our normal waking consciousness perceives only a limited slice of reality, and that specific techniques like hemi-sync aim to shift awareness into altered states capable of accessing deeper, more fundamental layers. This mirrors the Vedantic idea precisely. Maya represents that limited, everyday perception, the consensual matrix we usually inhabit. The altered states explored by Gateway could be seen as attempts to temporarily lift the veil of Maya, to peek beyond the conventional constructs of time, space, and separation, and glimpse something closer to the underlying unity, the Brahman. Have you ever had a moment in your own life, perhaps during deep meditation, in nature, or even unexpectedly, where the ordinary world suddenly felt different? Less solid, more interconnected, imbued with a sense of profound peace or clarity. These moments could be interpreted as fleeting glimpses beyond your personal veil of Maya. Or perhaps you've experienced the powerful realization of how a deeply ingrained limiting belief, a part of your own personal Maya, was shaping your entire experience of a situation. When that belief dissolved, did it feel like waking up, like seeing things clearly for the first time? That feeling of spiritual awakening is akin to piercing the veil. We can think of Maya like wearing a pair of colored glasses that we've had on for so long, we've forgotten they are there. We believe the world is tinted that particular shade. The spiritual journey, in many traditions, and perhaps the implicit, deeper potential hinted at in the Gateway explorations, involves first becoming aware that we are wearing glasses. It's about recognizing the conditioned filters through which we perceive. Then, the work becomes learning how to, even if just for moments, remove those glasses and see the world, and ourselves, in the unfiltered light of pure consciousness, as it truly is. This isn't about negating our human experience, but about understanding its relative nature and connecting with the deeper reality it simultaneously reveals and conceals. Our exploration now leads us to two distinct yet complementary streams of ancient wisdom that speak directly to the potential for consciousness to access knowledge and experience beyond the ordinary senses. First, let's consider Gnosticism, a diverse collection of spiritual movements prominent in the early centuries. Central to many Gnostic paths is the pursuit of gnosis. This isn't merely intellectual knowledge or belief passed down through texts or authorities. Gnosis refers to a direct, intimate, experiential knowing of spiritual truth, of the divine, of the fundamental nature of reality. It's knowledge born from inner illumination, an intuitive apprehension that transcends rational thought. Parallel to this, yet arising from vastly different cultural soil, we find the ancient practices of shamanism present in indigenous cultures across the globe for millennia. A core element of many shamanic traditions is the soul journey or shamanic flight. Through specific rituals, often involving rhythmic sound like drumming or chanting, the shaman enters an altered state of consciousness, allowing their awareness, or spirit, to travel to other realms, non-ordinary realities, to seek guidance, healing, or information for their community, or for an individual. This isn't seen as metaphor, but as a genuine journey of consciousness into different dimensions of existence. Now let's hold these ancient practices in mind and turn back to the concepts within the gateway process documents. See the resonance? The Gnostic pursuit of gnosis, direct intuitive knowing, finds a striking parallel in the gateway objective of accessing a purported universal field of consciousness, a matrix of information, to gain knowledge directly, bypassing conventional sensory input. This objective is foundational to the concept of remote viewing explored in relation to the gateway process. It's the pursuit of information not through logic, but through a direct resonance of consciousness. And the shamanic soul journey. The parallels with the gateway's exploration of altered states, particularly the focus levels designed to facilitate experiences of non-local consciousness and even out-of-body states, OBEs, are remarkably clear. The ancient shaman inducing a state to allow consciousness to travel aligns conceptually with the modern techniques aiming to achieve a similar separation of awareness from the physical body, allowing for exploration beyond its immediate confines. It's as if different cultures, separated by vast stretches of time and geography, independently developed methods to explore the very same potential of the human mind. Consider your own life again. Have you ever experienced a moment of pure gnosis? A sudden, unshakable knowing about something, a clarity that arrived fully formed, without conscious reasoning. Where did that insight come from? And have you ever had dreams so vivid, so coherent and seemingly meaningful, that they felt less like random mental noise and more like actual journeys, leaving you with insights or feelings that lingered long after waking? These experiences, often dismissed or rationalized away in our modern culture, might be echoes of these ancient capacities, the capacity for direct knowing and the potential for consciousness to journey beyond the physical. They hint at an inner landscape rich with potential, a spiritual journey available through cultivating awareness, perhaps leading towards a deeper sense of inner peace and purpose. Isn't it fascinating how these seemingly disparate sources, ancient mystics, indigenous shamans, and even classified government research, all seem to point towards a similar extraordinary potential hidden within human consciousness? So, where has this journey comparing classified documents with ancient scrolls and oral traditions led us? We've seen the gateway process, presented in the technical language of modern research, exploring concepts like reality as a projection, consciousness unbound by space-time, and the ability to access deeper states of awareness. And remarkably, at every turn, we've found profound resonances, direct echoes, of principles central to Hermeticism, Vedanta, Gnosticism, and shamanic practices from across the globe. The language is different, the context jarringly modern, but the underlying themes, the correspondence between inner and outer worlds, the illusory nature of ordinary perception, the potential for direct knowing, and the capacity of consciousness to transcend physical limits, are strikingly familiar. They are themes that have resonated through the halls of human wisdom for millennia. And perhaps this is the true revelation hiding in plain sight. It might not be about what the CIA definitively proved or discovered in some secret lab. The deeper insight, the liberating clarity, may lie in the unexpected validation this modern exploration offers to the enduring depth and persistence of ancient spiritual wisdom. It suggests that the quest to understand and even influence reality, this idea of hacking reality, isn't some futuristic technological feat waiting to be invented. Instead, it appears to be rooted in a timeless ancient understanding of the fundamental nature of consciousness itself. This realization can shift our perspective dramatically. It takes the perceived power and mystery away from the exclusive domain of classified files or complex techniques and returns it to its rightful place, the shared heritage of human potential. It suggests that the keys to unlocking these deeper dimensions of reality don't belong to any single organization or era, but are woven into the very fabric of our being, rediscovered and reinterpreted across cultures and ages. Can you feel the significance of this? That subtle intuition you've had, that moment of uncanny synchronicity, that deep curiosity about the nature of your own mind and its connection to the universe. Perhaps these aren't just random glitches or flights of fancy. Perhaps they aren't merely new age ideas floating untethered. Instead, what if they are authentic echoes of this perennial human quest? What if your own inner experiences are connecting you to a vast, ancient stream of consciousness exploration? There can be a profound sense of relief, of validation and connection, in recognizing that your inner world resonates with truths explored by sages and mystics throughout history. You are not alone in your seeking. You are, in your own way, connected to an unbroken lineage of consciousness explorers, stretching back through the mists of time. The questions you ponder, the potential you sense within, these are part of the great, unfolding story of humanity's journey toward self-understanding and realization. Recognizing these deep connections between modern explorations and ancient wisdom is illuminating. But how do we bring this understanding into our actual lives? How can we begin to consciously engage with these principles, not just intellectually, but experientially? Let's explore a simple, practical way to embody the essence of as above, so below, right here, right now. Choose just one quality, one small aspect of your inner world that you wish to cultivate more consciously today. Perhaps it's a feeling of inner peace, a sense of clarity, or simple gratitude. Hold this intention gently within you. Then, as you move through your day, become a quiet observer. Without trying to force anything, simply notice how does cultivating this inner state subtly seem to resonate outwards. Pay attention to your interactions with others, to your perception of events, even to small, unexpected synchronicities that might arise. Don't look for grand miracles, but for the subtle echoes, the gentle reflections of your inner state in the mirror of your outer world. Just observe the resonance. This invites a profound shift in perspective. Instead of viewing the world solely as something solid, separate, and external happening to you, begin to playfully engage with the idea that it is also a mirror, reflecting your inner landscape back to you. Ask yourself, if you wanted your reflection in a mirror to smile, what would you do first? You would begin by smiling yourself, wouldn't you? Similarly, if you desire more peace or kindness in your external world, the most potent place to begin cultivating it is within your own heart, within your own mind. Start by smiling inwardly. It's crucial to understand that this isn't about attempting some kind of magical control over external events or people. It's far deeper than that. It's about cultivating a sense of conscious participation, of co-creation with reality. It's about taking gentle, mindful responsibility for the quality of awareness and intention you bring to each moment. This practice subtly, but powerfully shifts the locus of control from anxiously trying to manage the external world to intentionally cultivating the inner garden from which your experience blossoms. It brings personal power back to where it truly resides, within the sanctuary of your own consciousness, fostering authentic personal growth and self-development. We've journeyed together, tracing the intriguing threads that connect controversial CIA files to the profound depths of ancient wisdom. We've seen how modern explorations into the nature of reality and the power of the mind seem to inadvertently echo timeless principles concerning consciousness, perception, and our fundamental connection to the universe. As the great mystic Rumi reminded us, the universe is not outside of you. Look inside yourself. Everything that you want, you already are. This points us inward, towards the source from which our experience unfolds. The true gateway, perhaps, lies not in classified documents or complex techniques, but within the boundless potential of our own awareness. So, the invitation now is simple, yet profound. As you step back into the flow of your life, Carry this question gently with you. What small echo of this timeless wisdom, this understanding of your own inner power and connection, can you begin to listen for, to notice, in your own life, starting today? If this exploration has resonated with you, if it sparked curiosity or offered a moment of clarity, we invite you to show your support with a like, and subscribe to Mystic Sages for more deep dives into the mysteries of consciousness and the paths of spiritual growth. Share this video with fellow seekers who might find value in this journey. And finally, we'd love to hear from your own reflection. Please share in the comments below which parallel between the gateway concepts and ancient wisdom surprised you the most, or made the most sense in your own experience. Your insights enrich our shared exploration. Thank you for joining us on this path.